Ever felt like managing a team is literally like trying to herd cats in a hurricane? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Every single day, managers and entrepreneurs face this wall of conflicting priorities, constant fires, and just absolute chaos. But what if there was a simple, proven system to actually get your control back? Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking the POLC Framework. It's basically the ultimate business management playbook for building your strategy, aligning your team, and driving some seriously massive results. Let's dive right in. So, think about it. What really makes a great manager? Is it just pure charisma, a ruthless focus on the bottom line, or maybe you just need a brilliant strategic mind? Look, while those traits certainly don't hurt, the day-to-day reality of leadership is way more systematic than that. In my years mentoring new managers and advising organizations, I've seen firsthand that it's really not about magic, it's about method. Great management is a repeatable process. It's a very specific set of interconnected steps that take an organization all the way from a rough idea right through to flawless execution.
And that repeatable process brings us to our main event today. I want you to think of POLC as your manager's DNA: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. These are the four essential functions of management. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a small business owner running a local coffee shop, a founder scaling a tech startup, or an executive at a massive global corporation, you are relying on this exact DNA. Every successful business initiative, no matter the size, relies on these four building blocks. If you're missing even one, the whole organism is going to struggle to survive.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the manager's secret DNA, then planning your strategy, followed by organizing and leading teams. After that, controlling for success, looking at POLC in the real world, and finally, modern critiques and takeaways. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The manager's secret DNA, from theory to practice.
To really get how to use this playbook, we've got to take a super quick look at where it came from. The POLC framework isn't just some trendy business school buzzword. It actually has pretty deep historical roots. Decades ago, this early management theorist named Henri Fayol proposed 5 functions of management: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. But, as the workplace evolved through the 1990s, the business world figured out that commanding and coordinating were just a little too rigid for the modern worker. So those two concepts got merged together into what we now call leading. And that evolution gave us the dynamic, 4-step POLC framework we use today. It shifted the whole vibe from just bossing people around to actually inspiring them and aligning everyone with the company's vision.
Section 2. Planning your strategy, the foundation.
All right, planning is absolutely the bedrock here. It's what everything else is built on. As a manager, planning requires you to scan your environment, forecast what's coming, and make strategic decisions about where your team is actually headed. Because without a plan, you're just reacting to things. Take a look at this strategy pyramid. It brilliantly shows how planning flows from the top down. Right at the peak, you've got your mission and vision. That's your fundamental reason for existing. But a mission alone isn't going to get the work done, right? It has to filter down into your strategy, which is your long-term game plan. And finally, that strategy translates right into the base of the pyramid, your concrete goals and objectives. These are the specific, measurable targets you actually need to hit. So in the planning phase, your job is to connect that high-level, pie-in-the-sky dream at the top directly to the day-to-day operational goals at the bottom.
Section 3. Organizing and leading teams. Structure meets motivation.
Okay, so once your plan is set, you can't just cross your fingers and expect it to magically execute itself. You've got to move to the next 2 functions: organizing and leading. Basically, grouping your resources efficiently and then inspiring the actual human beings who are going to do the heavy lifting. Now, it's really crucial to understand the difference between these two. Organizing is super structural. We're talking about allocating resources, designing jobs, building out the org chart. So, creating a cross-functional team or figuring out how our product department is structured. That's all organizing. Leading, on the flip side, is the heartbeat of the whole operation. It is entirely social and behavioral. Leading is all about emotional intelligence, effective communication, and inspiring action. Honestly, you can have the most brilliant organizational structure in the world, but if you don't lead effectively, your team just isn't going to be energized enough to put in the work required to win.
Section 4. Controlling for success. The feedback loop. Now we arrive at the 4th, and honestly, the most misunderstood function. When a lot of people hear the word control, they immediately think of stifling micromanagement, right? Like a boss just hovering over your shoulder. But in the POLC framework, controlling is a vital data-driven step. It's just there to ensure that your actual performance is staying aligned with those standards you set back in the planning phase. Notice here how the arrows form a continuous circle.
The POLC framework is definitely not a straight line where you just finish controlling and pack up and go home. It's a cyclical feedback loop. Controlling is basically your mechanism to make real-time adjustments. You gather data on how well you're executing, and that feedback feeds directly back into your next round of planning, organizing, and leading. It literally turns your initial plan into a living, breathing process.
To make this super concrete, let's break down the 4 practical steps of the control phase. First, you establish performance standards. Remember, these come directly from your goals. Second, you measure your actual performance. Third, you compare the two to spot any deviations. And fourth, you take corrective action. Now, the biggest mistake I see new managers make here is measuring the completely wrong things. A lot of modern organizations use tools like a balanced scorecard to track progress. This relies on leading indicators which predict future performance, like customer satisfaction scores, and lagging indicators, which just tell you what already happened, like historic revenue.
And here is a massive pro tip I always give to new managers. It's called control by exception. Look, there's an old saying, if you try to control everything, you end up controlling nothing. Control by exception means you concentrate your management efforts only on the significant deviations from your standards. Let's say you see a 5% unexpected spike in your core labor costs. Okay, that's a critical issue requiring your immediate attention. But a 2% increase in the office supply budget, yeah, not so much. By focusing just on the exceptions, you save a ton of time and you direct your energy exactly where it's needed, on the critical performance gaps that actually threaten your business.
Section 5. POLC in the real world. The tech startup.
All right, we've covered the theory and the structure, but what does this actually look like when the pressure is on and the clock is ticking? Let's walk through a real-world scenario to see this managerial's DNA in action. Imagine a CEO launching a brand new fitness app. Step 1, planning. The CEO sets a strategic target to hit 10,000 active users within the first 3 months. Step 2, organizing. They allocate resources and assign specific roles. So one team is entirely focused on app development, another on beta testing, and a third handles the massive launch marketing campaign. Step 3, leading. The CEO gets up and shares a passionate vision for exactly how this app is going to change fitness lovers' lives. They foster a collaborative culture and they step in to resolve any friction between the marketing and tech teams. And finally, step 4, controlling. As the app hits beta, the CEO is tracking the progress closely. They spot some software bugs, which is a deviation from the standard, and they immediately take corrective action, reallocating some engineers to fix them. They also notice the marketing ads aren't quite hitting the target demographic, so they tweak the messaging. Plan, organize, lead, control. See how it all works together seamlessly?
Section 6. Modern critiques and takeaways. Adapting to agility.
Now, to be totally fair and comprehensive, we have to acknowledge that today's business world moves incredibly fast. And because of that, the POLC framework definitely faces some modern critiques. Some folks argue that the model is just way too sequential, too linear, and maybe too rigid for the complex environments we work in today. But let's compare those old critiques with our modern reality. The traditional view kind of assumed management was this perfectly linear, strict, top-down thing, very much an old-school factory floor model. And critics are right to point out that a modern manager's actual day is fragmented, chaotic, and almost never follows a straight line. But here's the agile modern reality. POLC is still highly relevant if you know how to adapt it. So instead of strict, rigid planning, you use iterative, agile strategies. Instead of commanding from some ivory tower, you build an inclusive culture. You don't abandon the framework, you just use it dynamically so you can actually thrive amidst the chaos.
Which brings us right to this really vital quote. A manager's primary challenge is to solve problems creatively. Look, despite how hectic and unpredictable your day gets, the POLC framework shouldn't be viewed as a straitjacket. It's more like a flexible baseline. It gives you the operational foundation you need. That way, when some completely unexpected problem pops up out of nowhere, your mind is actually free to solve it creatively because you know your operational basics are already handled.
So, we're going to leave you with this final, provocative question to think about. How will you code your manager's DNA today? Seriously, take a look at your current projects. Are you lacking a clear plan? Is your team feeling a bit poorly organized? Are you maybe failing to lead with vision or missing those vital feedback loops in the controlling phase? Take the POLC framework, apply it to your team immediately, and watch as you turn the absolute chaos of management into a well-oiled symphony of execution. Thank you so much for joining us on this explainer. If you found this valuable, take this framework back to your team today, and we will see you next time.